Hey guys, it's Thomas and Sam here, and welcome to GameChat.
Yes.
Now today we are doing some 5 Nights at Freddy's theory. As you can see, we've got the beautiful thing right here.
Location.
Oh, that took a while. I almost fell. Anyway, I did that in this thing before. Did all of your stuff here like this.
Yes, amazing. And just look at the lighting. It's amazing.
It's
different. Bit different.
Because we wanted to. I've got a ringing in my ear right now. That's not normal. We wanted to get a bit moody for 5 Nights at Freddy's, so we did. We should have probably done this for the actual gameplay. But we really just thought of it, so whatever. Anyway, so first off, let's start, I guess. Where do we start? Well, something that I was wondering, especially with 5 Nights at Freddy's sister location, is where is it? Like, where is the actual elevator going to?
Because there's so many different. Because there's Circus Baby's Pizza World, and then there's Circus Baby's Rentals and Entertainment, I think it's called.
Yeah. Just because when you come down the elevator, like, where is the top of that? Where do you go into for the first point? Like, and how many people know about it?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's.
Anyway,
so there's Circus Baby's Pizza World and Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rentals. So it looks like Circus. I need to record.
Yeah. You've been recording the whole time.
Yeah. So I think Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rentals. That's where the game takes place. And Circus Baby's Pizza World.
Okay.
Circus Baby's Pizza World was a location created by William Afton after the closing of the 1993 Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. In other news, the grand opening of Circus Baby's Pizza World has apparently been cancelled due to the reported gas leaks in the building. Sources close to the establishment questioned the report, saying the strange activity around the area at night suggests something else is to blame. One local is quoted as saying everything just stopped. There was so much excitement built around this place opening, and then they just stopped talking about it. There was only a handful of people that ever got a look at the inside, kids from here and there, making sure everything worked right, I guess they weren't quite as ready as they thought they were.
Yeah, I think let's just pause there for a second. So it was closed, like it's still there, but it was never opened. What if that's where the elevator top is, but also everything just stopped. There was so much excitement. That's excitement, right? There's so much excitement built. Is that the cutscene with after walking down the street and him slowly turning into purple guy? Is he walking out of sister location?
Probably.
That was probably when he got scooped and and then started taking over him. From the start, he was from the start was when he was scooped, or maybe the first one was him not his normal, and then he got scooped, and he's coming out from sister location through this building. Maybe that's how they disguised and kept the elevator.
Probably.
But yeah, that's interesting. Another thing I was
the thing still lingers though. Which one is which? Because we've got Circus Baby's Pizza World, and then we've got Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rentals, and right here we've got the map of the place from the extras menu, which says Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rental. So I'm wondering if they're are they the same place?
I think,
but sort of just in different areas.
I think they are connected. I think that's where the elevator goes to. So it makes sense. It's not just in the overall in another building. It is that one, because it makes sense if they closed it and it was for gas leakages. We do see in the private room extra night that we do have to worry about oxygen. It could have something to do with that. So yeah, I think that's what's happening here. So they are the same building as such.
Actually, I just had a thought. Let me just go to Funtime Freddy's page and open up the breaker room map. Breaker room is... Probably should have just searched up breaker room.
Yeah. But
Let's
other
do
than that,
that.
something else that I wanted to go on is like I've had this thought, right, and we've been talking about it for a while now. And that was the thought that find that what's called I've forgotten the name of the actual business. The whole what was it called? Fazbear Entertainment. That's it. Right? Fazbear Entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a family business. It was a family business because with when we saw the cutscene in with Springtrap and in Sister Location, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. The one with Springtrap. He said, what did he say? Bring it up.
Right.
It's quoted.
Or we could just watch it, just to show everybody.
Yeah, we'll play it through.
Father, it's me, Michael.
What was it? Alrighty, there we go. Father, it's me, Michael. That is probably
So
the
we've got
biggest
the Michael
thing.
Afton.
We know that, yeah, he's talking to his father, and at the end it's Springtrap. So he's probably, we thought that he was talking to Springtrap as his father, who we know is William. So he says it's me, Michael. Is this Michael Afton? What and then later on, keep playing.
I did it. I found it. It was right where you said it would be.
What was it? We're not entirely sure what that is.
Yeah.
Some theories were maybe it's the box from
Yes, the box from FNAF 4. Yeah.
Or maybe some sort of an animatronic or something like that. Continue.
They were all there.
There, pause. They were all there. That has to have something to do with the animatronics.
Yes.
Maybe he was talking about Enid or something like that.
Yeah, whether he's talking about Enid or the Funtime animatronics or maybe the Fazbear game.
Yeah,
we don't know.
They didn't recognize me at first, but then they thought I was you.
There we go again. We know that in Final Space this location, Baby does say, she says, "I've been in this. I know this situation. This
has all occurred before, pretty much.
I think that's them recognizing Michael as William.
Mm.
What that would mean then is that William was in that place before. Continue.
And I found her. I put her back together.
I'm not sure what her is. I'm thinking it's probably something to do with Baby or Ballora or some other animatronic.
Or the young child.
Yes,
So
probably
who was
the
Miss Afton.
child. Yeah, in
The one
that gets
killed by Baby with the ice cream, and the one that speaks every
at the beginning and the end of every night. Yeah.
So that was we'll probably get a picture of her. Don't get it now. We'll put it up there. Where was it? We get a picture of who we're talking about. Don't get it up now. We'll just get that for you guys to see. So, but the thing is, there's obviously something with the eyes of the animatronics relating to the person who was scooped. Like we know that in the minigame that we didn't quite complete.
Yes.
Baby's eyes
are blue, but in the actual game, her eyes are green.
And then at the end, how supposedly Michael Afton's eyes are purple. That might not be saying purple guy. That might be saying a mixture of the original animatronic's eyes with his eyes. So if we know it's Emmett who has blue eyes, that would mean that we know what color his eyes were, which were they would have to be. Can't remember. Don't know what plus blue makes purple, but whatever that might be.
Then again, we are talking about Enid here, and he has basically
have different colored
all
eyes.
the eyes of all the different animatronics in the sister location.
He could very well be changing.
Yeah, because I'm thinking that probably for the purple guy thing with the purple eyes, he probably changed to Ballora's eyes, which are purple.
Possibly, yeah.
Because Tyler made a good statement with Markiplier that since Ballora has purple eyes as well as the guy who he plays in Sister Location, it could mean that Ballora is mainly being used for Purple Guy, which also brings in the fact that she was the first one to be scooped in the game, and Enid was posing as her in Frontime Auditorium during night 5.
Yeah, because
Ballora has a lot of mystery with her in this game.
As I said, she is a weird character, right? She seems to be the only one who disobeys it, but I think it is all a setup by Enid. But then there is that thing, like the girl was killed and supposedly put in baby, which would change the eyes, and we know that does.
Actually, hang on. While we're on the topic of eyes, I just do want to bring up Miss Afton, because I do remember. I think she does have green eyes. Sorry, if the internet would work for me.
Yeah, I think she might have, or.
His daughter. The daughter. Yes.
Yeah, green eyes.
See, she does have green eyes.
Bring up FNAF 4.
FNAF 4. Again, she's got green eyes, and she has a similar look to Baby with the ponytails and the skirt, and even the shoes. They don't necessarily have the bell point shoes. That's probably just something that had something to do with Baby, but basically, Miss Afton resembles Baby in a lot of ways in the 4th game.
I also noticed when I've just seen this in the corner, Baby's eyes disappear when she's stupid. This could mean that her eyes just change color depending on when, like, if she's stupid, which is interesting. It might actually be an indicator. It could be.
Here we go. There's a GIF here of the death scene. So we'll just take a close look at this. Yeah, so Baby's eyes practically disappear. So
the changing of the eye color could very well be a signal to the Aftons, because he was obviously trying to capture these sort of these robots would not be built with scoopers coming out of them if they weren't built for that. So that could very well be a signal to Afton that there's somebody in there. And we do see that with Baby, that her eyes do change color, and with in the end with Enid, that his the interesting thing is though that his eyes do change color as well, which is weird.
One thing that interests me is because literally in these games there is always something going on with the Afton family, and it's normally something rebellious. Especially in Miss Afton's case, because in all the moments before the night, she's always complaining to William Afton why she can't see Baby. So we'll take a listen here.
Daddy, why won't you let me play with her?
Wow.
And pretty much with all the audio tracks, it is.
Daddy, you let the other children go see her. Why won't you let me go?
He's jealous, and then she starts.
Daddy, just once let me go play with her. She's so pretty and shiny. Didn't you make her just for me?
So pretty much it's like that for nights 1 to 4, and then with night 5, she speaks before night 5 and after night 5. So here's where the rebellious tone comes in from Miss Afton.
Daddy isn't watching.
And then for the real ending.
Don't tell Daddy that I'm here. I wanted to watch your show too. I don't know why he won't let me come see you. You're wonderful. Where did the other children go?
That's where it gets very dark.
Yes. Ooh. I actually just had a thought, because Circus Baby also mentioned this in night 3, which we didn't end up going to the circus control room in night 3. But basically, in night 3 she tells us a story, which we'll listen to that now.
Did you know that I was on stage once? It wasn't for very long.
Even
Only one day.
Even already was hearing similar tone, like similar voices. They are very similar voices. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say now. So her wanting to go play with Baby, and William Afton not letting her is obviously because Afton knows that this is happening. William Afton set up the robots to be able to kill. But the thing that I was thinking about was the actual builder of the actual creator of the animatronics in what was his name? The guy from we only got his first name. It was in the book and in FNAF World at the end.
Henry.
Henry, that's it. I think that it would be Afton's brother. I think that is Henry Afton.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of people theorize that it is a Henry Afton. Which makes sense because Henry and William Afton worked together on building animatronics.
And also the house from Night 4 is the same. Well, FNAF 4. Dang, I always say that. Is we can see that same lampshade in this location when you finish the night and you're at your house. So yeah, that could very well be the same house. Now we know so if we're playing as Mike Afton, that would mean that they would have to be family with Henry and William as well, because we do see. Oh no.
Alright.
Okay.
I have no idea what we were talking about.
I can't remember either. This is okay. So, let's just jump to So
we're going to continue with the
yeah, we're doing that. Right. That's right. I remember I was saying there are similarities in the voice.
What a wonderful day, though. I was in a small room with balloons and a few tables. No one sat at the tables, though, but children would run in and out. Some were afraid of me, others enjoyed my songs. Music was always coming from somewhere else, down a hall. I would always count the children. I'm not sure why. I was always acutely aware of how many there were in the room with me.
Okay, so her not knowing why she was counting the children, knowing how many there were. That is obviously part of the programming from Afton.
Yes.
So she can count how many children are there, and
I'm probably thinking when she was probably counting for one, because especially with what Miss Afton said, where did all the children go?
Yeah,
she was probably counting to make sure that there was one person there, one child.
Then 3, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 2, then none. They usually played together in groups of 2 or 3. I was covered in glitter. I smelled like birthday cake. There were 2, then 3, then 5, then 4. I can do something special. Did you know that? I can make ice cream.
That, actually no.
Although I only did it once.
That also sort of goes back to the minigame. Because when you go and collect the ice cream, you are only given one. And when she says she smelled like birthday cake, it was because there were plenty of, because she would be giving out the cakes. Actually,
making the people 2 and 3. Yeah, I was just saying that. Is that amount of children in the minigame every screen?
Yeah, because I was thinking because they all are like 2s and 3s and there's like one room with 5. There's one area with 5.
Jumping over, throws you into a void. That room.
And I think there's and oh my gosh, my browser's frozen.
Oh no. Okay.
And She said none once, I think.
That was when you were collecting the green cake. Green cake, there was none.
What about the blue one? The blue one, the ice cream didn't have any. There's probably some things missed out. Yeah.
Okay, well while that's loading, so yeah, okay. With the purple guy minigame, the end scene, I guess. He at the end obviously is purple. I think that's just. I don't think that's literal. I think that's just saying that he's turned into the purple guy. And he throws up.
He baths Enid. Yeah. So
I think that's obviously he after that he gets up and his eyes are still. He's still working. So I think Enid left part of himself in there, like the head part and just some parts controlling the existing bones and stuff like that. And he's throwing the rest of himself back in the sewer, and I think that's back down to sister location because he hasn't walked very far from the elevator. So I think that's back down to sister location, and that's how he goes gets you playing as Mike theoretically because it does say Mike on the keyboard and it does say enter your name as seen above. Alright, pause it. Before I forget it. So you could very well be playing as Mike Afton, and then Enid would have come back down. But the question is why? I'm not entirely sure. But obviously he comes down and gets you. But the thing is, he already had escaped, so I'm not entirely sure why he came back down. That's a big thing because he was something I want to get. He was like, I want to get out. I believe Baby said that at one point in some way.
Yeah, that's sort of what's a bit confusing because Enid escapes and then he goes back in.
Whether it's specifically for Mike, it might be specifically for Mike or something, but maybe he wanted. I don't know. I really don't know. It's confusing, but
then again, we've still got the Twisted Ones that has just come out, and there's also a new teaser on FNAFworld.com, which sort of leads towards the sister location
and also the next book and the movie.
So we've still got plenty of stuff waiting. I kind of like how Scott's bringing everything slowly because at first we didn't know who Mike was, and then the custom night came out, and then it was revealed that it was Mike Afton because I saw many people speculating that was Mike Schmidt we were playing as. Whereas
let's just quickly talk about that. We think that Mike Schmidt is actually Mike Afton. We think he would have obviously disguised his name because they would have known the Aftons. Whether there's I don't know why actually. There might just be different. Afton might have actually had employees that hired people, and they didn't want to go in as Afton because they would have known about it, and maybe it is Finance Phase 1, which is laying down in the timeline.
Yes.
So there could have already been. He could have become. Afton could have already. William could have already become Purple Guy, and we know that he's already murdered. We know that children have already gone missing. So he would obviously want to disguise his name because the people who were there would have some sort of knowledge or have some speculation about it. So he wanted to get in for some reason as Enid because actually isn't he at this point Enid? Does he has he been scooped at this point? That's the question. When you play in sister location take place? The sister location I think has been there pretty much the whole time. It was it's connected on the map. You can see it. It looks like it's connected to almost all the other I guess locations in the franchise, and
mainly
we just had that theory about the elevator being linked to
Circus Baby's Pizza World and Rental.
So that then pretty much links everything to sister location. Sister location being the center where everything happens. It makes sense. They would need a place to build the robots. They need a place to test the robots. They need a place to
actually
do all that.
That's quite interesting the way you put it. How everything links back to sister location. Because there are plenty of references to the other 4 games in sister location. Because Scott tried to make sure that sister location had new things in it, as well as gameplay and story and other things that linked back to the other 4 games. So I'm wondering if that was intentional and not just for a bit of nostalgia.
I reckon it was intentional. But another I'm just trying to figure out where does this take place? Like what is happening above ground? You could say. and seeing the Springtrap scene doesn't necessarily put it link it directly to Five Nights at Freddy's 3 time-wise. Springtrap could have already existed at that point. It's only
Spring Bonnie at the time.
Spring Bonnie at the time, but we know Springtrap because he's talking about his father, and we see Springtrap move, and we see all the gross insides a little bit, and we do see that he's rotted. So Springtrap, the event for Springtrap could have very well happened before you actually play in Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Who do you play as in Five Nights at Freddy's 3?
The guard is actually unnamed in the third game.
Okay, that's interesting.
We don't know because instead of getting a paycheck, because Fazbear's Fright burns down in Night 5, so we just get a newspaper clipping with nothing. Well, because in the third game we get basically no names. So I'm wondering if maybe that might come into the Sister Location sequel, especially because we've got that little Springtrap thing at the end of Sister Location. So I'm thinking Springtrap might make some sort of return in either the movie or Sister Location 2.
There's a lot of things that Springtrap survived, even if they're stupid fanfics. There is still that
Stop
possibility.
reading fanfics, they're confusing you.
So we know that so it was said that Five Nights at Freddy's 3 was the end of Fazbear Entertainment, right? It burnt down, but there's still Sister Location. Even if because all the other locations, were they closed at that point, except for Fright?
I think so. I'm not sure. I know Circus Baby's Pizza World shut down. Let me check.
That shut down straight away. That never happened.
Still open.
Oh, whoa.
So I'm not sure if it's
Wait,
talking about
that's talking about entertainment and rental.
Entertainment and rental. We know Pizza World shut down
never
instantly. And
that one,
entertainment and rental is either still open in Sister Location, or which is probably why we never see anything to do with the Pizza World in Sister Location, and why Baby says I used to have a restaurant, referring back to Pizza World. So if entertainment and rentals is, I don't know,
careful with stuff.
Sister Location actually might take place after Five Nights at Freddy's 3, all the stuff with Michael Afton, because we see in the ending cutscene, hang on, let me skip to the end, where he appears, dang it, dang it, internet! Dang it! Stop it! Stop the video!
Did it on purpose here.
What the frick was that?
Anyway,
so we can see, I'll just show a clip now, because I've got better internet at home, and I can probably download the video and put it up. So, you can see at the end of the clip that Springtrap is slightly more rotted than he is in the third game. He's missing like his waist piece, and he's got chunks of him that were missing that were in the third game.
Which is interesting. Maybe that was him surviving FNAF 3 and going down.
And because there's also like mist inside Fazbear's Fright, and it looks like smoke, and things look like it's been burnt down, like, because we can see in that little thumbnail there that there's like timbers and stuff lying around there, and there's little bits of mist.
The aftermath of FNAF 3.
It's probably just after Five Nights at Freddy's 3.
But when we're talking to him as Michael, that could have been before we see what we see. That could have been I'm not really sure how to put this, but I'm not really sure how to put this. But that didn't necessarily actually happen at the same time when what we see in the cutscene and what we hear. Could have it very well could have, because he obviously has been taken over. Michael has been taken over by Enid at that point, because you can hear his voice go robotic at the end, and
Yeah.
He does say that something's controlling him, and so that, and saying that he should be dead, but he's not. That's him saying that he's gotten scooped. He doesn't have any.
Because because Enid practically keeps him alive. So that's the main point where he says, "I should be dead, but I'm alive."
That's
Yeah.
and keeping him alive, even though he clearly should have been dead after being scooped. So yeah, also quickly to support that, and it is still inside Purple Guy, William, after he's completely rotted and been taken over. Just bring up a picture of Springtrap close up of his face.
Oh yes, I know where you're
I was
heading.
talking to Sam about this a while ago, trying to prove.
I know where you're heading with this. Yeah.
We see that. We know how
if the internet decides to.
I'll just try and explain it. So we know that Springtrap closed down on William, and that killed him, of course. And it could very well still be keeping him alive, or maybe he did die. But we actually see that in his mouth. If you'll get a picture of
there.
Yeah.
There.
In his mouth.
Lucky YouTube thumbnails.
In his mouth, there are actually metal things, right?
And also inside his eyes, and there's wires and bolts and stuff sticking out of his face. That could still possibly be Enid, because if...
I'm trying to explain. I had the original theory. I'm going to explain it. If Springtrap were to close down on Enid, and... okay, now maybe I'm not going to explain. But anyway, if Springtrap were to close down on William and go through his... jawline. His jawline would have come off and or at least gone through and seen a massive mark.
His skull would have basically been crushed, but we can still see there that it is pretty much intact, and
furthermore,
there's still metal everywhere. So
and just the fact that his skull and the animatronics have the ability to crush the skull, as we see in the Biter 83
with Fredbear.
The fact that it's still intact is obviously meaning that it's being held up by something else, and the things on the metal on the inside of his head, and the fact that we see Enid come out of him at one point leaves reason that Enid will still be inside of him, controlling parts of him.
Yeah, because I actually think that because when William barfs out Enid,
let's say ejects from now on, because that sounds. Really let's say ejects.
When he ejects Enid, you see all the eyes. I don't think I recall seeing a purple one in there at all. So that proves that there's still some of Enid still left in William.
If that was Enid, it would be massive. Like we see when Enid's peering over, and when he's behind Baby, he's practically the same size as Baby. We know that
Baby's 7 feet.
Yes.
So Enid, when William ejects Enid, if it was entirely Enid, there should have been so much more. It would have been bigger than William himself.
But it wasn't. It was only a small bit, and it looked like just mostly eyes and just connection.
Yeah.
It wasn't the main parts. It was just enough for Enid to rebuild himself. So maybe he's not trying to get out. He's just trying to take as many people down with him as possible. Because Enid was made up of the animatronics, and they were designed to kill, subconsciously or not, to what Baby has said. Like, she doesn't know what happened. That could just be Enid talking to get you into a sense of security. But they're designed to kill. And if that's from the other animatronics, then that would carry through to Enid. It would be in his code.
But another thing is, though, Enid is... I'm pretty sure he was the original animatronic, but his designing process was shut down, so he is probably the first and the forgotten animatronic.
He could have been.
So, in any case, the animatronics could have just been purely for entertainment purposes, but Enid... I don't know, there must have still been some sort of malfunction or something, or
So
some sort of person that still liked the idea of Enid and probably put some of Enid's original AI and planning inside one of the animatronics, specifically Ballora, because she's talked about a lot in the same way Enid is.
Yeah.
And so Ballora is probably the one that is corrupted. And then Enid would probably go around and corrupt the other animatronics. Then he would go take William, who is the animatronic designer, and then William would go under the influence of Enid and design the animatronics to kill. They could have been...
Before you go too far, William didn't build the original animatronics. That was Henry. Henry was the one who built them, and William was the one who did like the accounting and all the number stuff. But I think that could be a thing, and it being the first one. But he was put out of order and didn't continue it. Maybe Afton got into his system and made him so he would go to the other animatronics and like take parts of them or something like that when they were being scooped, and create himself to take over the other animatronics and destroy what Henry has done. Maybe William is against Henry at this point. Because we know that Henry does end up killing himself by letting Baby kill him because he had lost everything at this point. He had lost his son to Fredbear, his daughter probably at this point, maybe she just has taken over Baby or something like that. I don't know. So he is extremely depressed. But William, I think that he might have still I'm not entirely sure. It's difficult to think through.
Yeah.
But obviously William is still trying to capture children. And a theory from MatPat is that he's trying to bring the bring that son back to life, which would be his getting the term, but he would Afton would be the boy's uncle. And this were to be true with family thing. Yeah. Nephew, that's the word.
Yeah.
They want to bring his nephew back. Maybe he just didn't maybe he just hated his brother and wanted the business for himself. He wanted all the profit, which is why he took care of the numbers. He wanted to do miscalculations and take some more money for himself. That's just a theory, but a game theory. But but it could be what's happening. He wanted Fredbear Entertainment. Fazbear Entertainment. Always get that wrong. But yeah, that could be what's happening. And he didn't want he just wanted to get rid of his brother and take over the business, but he didn't want his nephew gone, which was because he I think that the nephew and Baby were the two the nephew and the niece. The niece,
yeah.
At this point were the two accidentals. Every other child was on purpose, because we know that the nephew was put into Fredbear,
yeah.
And
the niece was put into Baby.
Yeah, the niece would snuck away from William and saw Baby, and her program told her to kill. That would mean that the son has already died at this point. The nephew has already died.
Yeah.
Because Afton's going out trying to get children to, I guess, do what the puppet does and bring them back to life to some state.
Yeah.
But that's just with Matt Pat's theory. This could be completely off. But if that is true, then it could very well stand, to be honest.
Yeah, because that because Five Nights at Freddy's 4 was basically the beginning of the timeline, and then in between 4 and 2, there's a bit of a gap, because Five Nights at Freddy's 4 took place in 83. The second game took place in 87. So we've got 4 years in between there. That's the perfect amount of time for Circus Babies to open up, for new animatronics, for a whole lot more stuff. Because we've got 4 years of this, which is a whole lot of time. So it's perfect for what Will wanted to do, and for what everything, and for how everything.
Another thing that I just remembered that I was thinking about is that everyone who went to Sicily Nation knew what was happening. They were all part of this plan, including those two technicians. And I was thinking 2 technicians. That has to have something to do with something. I was thinking, what about the employees at the other Five Nights at Freddy's games? Could that be them?
It could be because they were both fired. Actually, there's 3. There's 3 because in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 there was 2 night guards.
Oh.
There was Jeremy Fitzgerald from nights 1 to 6. Then there was Fritz Smith in night 7, who obviously knows something about the animatronics. I'm thinking he's one of the technicians.
Yeah.
Because it was his first night on the job, and he was already tampering with the animatronics AI.
So
and then he
had
was
to be
fired.
He had to be one of the one of the technicians, because they're technicians. They work on the animatronics.
And I'm thinking Mike Schmidt is probably the other technician.
Mike Schmidt was Mike Afton.
But
if that's true.
If it goes the other way, the other technician could be Mike Schmidt, because we know he was the other person who was tampering with AI. Jeremy Fitzgerald left on night 6 of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. He never had anything to do with playing with the AI.
What about I always go 9 instead of FNAF. FNAF 3.
Well, with FNAF 3...
You don't get the name, but do we have any story about them?
Not really. Another thing is that with Nightmare Mode, there is no tampering with AIs. Because basically it's just how the game worked with how the phantoms appeared. Basically, because it's all by chance and how you play, the only animatronic you'd be able to change is Springtrap, which that wouldn't work because he's a human.
He is. So that would mean that he was the other technician if Mike is Mike. That doesn't make sense.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But another thing is, we don't know if Nightmare Mode is canon. It might not be, because...
It wouldn't have to be for this to be true. Because he couldn't tamper with them anyway. They're not real, and Springtrap is William. So...
But, yeah, we don't know anything about the Night Guard in Five Nights at Freddy's 3. We don't know if he escaped from Fazbear's Fright when it burned down or not. But that's another thing I'm thinking of. If Nightmare Mode is canon, then it really wouldn't have worked, because Fazbear's Fright burned down at the end of night 5. And then we have a night 6.
Yeah, generally the Nightmare modes aren't really canon, so it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be for this to still be.
Yeah.
Because the fact that there were 2 technicians. Why is it 2 technicians?
Yeah, and it just gives so many questions.
We do hear them talking in night 4. 3?
4.
4. Yeah. 4. We hear 2 voices, 2 technicians. They're scooping out an animatronic. That's a technician's job.
I'm just wondering, you keep talking, I'm just going to check the dialogue to see what they say, because that could show something.
Okay, actually that was actually what I was going to say, but I was trying to think through some more things. I just had a thought. You know that weird show that you watch at the end of each night? What if that has something to do with the actual plot of the FNAF franchise? Because we know that at the end of the show, well, the second last part of the show, they burn down the house. That could just be a little joke, or it could very well be the actual plotline right there. We see 2 people fighting. That could be William and Henry, and it burns down in the end. I mean, it's just a little connecting the dots, maybe in the wrong way, but it is still there. We still see something being burned down, and we still see 2 people fighting, and we see a child being involved. Whether it is relative to the plot or not, it's still there. What happens on the False Night? Because we still see another episode of that weird show on the False Night.
Yeah.
I don't. What happened in that episode of that show?
Alright, so I'll just bring up this again, because it had all the So you were talking about Vlad and Clara in night. So which night we'll just go through all the different ones.
5 was when. Just get that thing that we were looking for before. First, before you go through that.
Yeah.
So what was
So, the dialogue with the men, the
I kidnapped you.
nice.
Right, so we'll just watch and listen. For 10 minutes, we'll have to finish it. So this one,
This might be 2 parts, guys. We have a lot more.
probably more because
Don't be afraid.
Five Nights at Freddy's is so
I'm not going to
complicated.
hurt you.
We will definitely have.
Yeah, we do have a lot more theories to go through that we have thought of.
And we're only talking about sister location. We have nothing to do with the other 4
Other than the
games.
side link.
You're
Yeah, the link
inside
is
something
very
that
linked.
came from my old pizzeria.
Alright, so we'll just listen.
I don't think it was ever used. At least not the way it was meant to be used.
Yes, this one.
Too dangerous.
Suit that we're in
It's
tonight
just
is this suit that we're in tonight for is actually something from the old pizza. Hang on, I just
Her
realized.
pizzeria. She said her pizzeria.
Yeah, but we don't know because Enid was originally planned, right? And the eye holes look pretty similar to the Enid mask. I'm wondering if maybe the Enid suit was still made, but it wasn't. It wasn't properly linked to like it wouldn't have been made properly to link with the endoskeleton. I'm not sure, but I could be wrong. We don't know anything about this suit at all, but the eye holes look a lot like Enid's. Enid
we never see. We know that all the other animatronics do have some sort of exoplate thing with which are spring locks, right? They were spring locks.
Yes,
they were spring
were.
locks, which is what this suit is. So this could have been Enid's suit, which we never see him in. He could have had a suit made. He was just never put in it. Maybe that was Henry's original design, and action and stealing it or something.
Yeah, who knows? In the
But
movie or Sister Location 2, we might end up
all we
seeing
know
this
is
suit
that
again.
all the other animatronics have some sort of plating, and it's never seen with it except for his face. Which could very well mean that there is plating that was made for him. He's just never seen in it.
Alright.
big enough for one person to fit inside, but just barely.
Pause it. We know that although Enid is massive, he would have he does still have a more human shape compared to the other animatronics. Even without their plates, it's still very human-like. That
He's the most humanoid of all the animatronics.
Seeing that he's theoretically gotten stuff from the scooping room, since he has clear access to it and put it on himself, he could have originally been the size of a human, which would make sense for his plating being the size of a human.
Yeah, because he could have originally been planned to be the size of a human, but with all the different animatronic endoskeletons put together, it's made him massive.
But before we continue, I guess what people could think from this scene is that this was one of those suits that we see in FNAF 4 that people can put on and take off and turn back into animatronic. Actually, throughout the whole series, we see these suits. But looking at it, it's metal. The inside of the other suits weren't metal.
Yes, all the other suits are made of plastic. And in the case of Five Nights at Freddy's 1 and 2, they're covered with an outer fur.
We see the inside, yeah, and the inside of them isn't metal. We see that when we see the child stuffed inside the other suit. You just see it, but there's actually a coating. It would make sense why there'd be a coating for those suits. And yes, although it is spring locks, like the suits that contract themselves, there's still spring locks in these masks and other plates that go on these animatronics in Sister Location. So
yeah, I wonder about that.
Just the fact that it's that different.
Why is it
compared
metal?
to yeah, it would only make sense for it to be on the animatronics because we don't we do see when they open up their faces that I don't know. Actually, no, I can't remember. If they are
with
metal
Fun Time Freddy, because because
it is metal on the inside. That's right. Yes, it is metal on the inside.
Yeah, because in the parts and service room, when you open up Freddy's faceplates, he has two sets of them. His plastic ones open up, and then he's got an extra set of metal ones inside that also open up and go around the plastic ones. So I'm wondering if that's that.
Because we still see Ennard's plastic face on the. Yeah, we see it on the
the wall. In the control room.
Yeah, and that could have been what goes on because
that could have been the plastic.
That doesn't mean
cover.
that he ever actually has this face that we see here on Ennard. He could just takes the plastic parts, which because they still would attach on. They just don't have to be attached to the metal thing. That's just another covering. Probably just to keep their shape or something like that.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to this because we still haven't gotten to the technicians.
Okay, bring her over. Forward. One. More. Okay, stop. Set her down.
Okay. We know there's two people there because that's somebody talking to someone else, telling someone to move Ballora, into the place to get scooped into the whatever they put. I think it does move at one point because we see her move across the screen. They're obviously attaching her to some sort of
to the elevator. To the elevator. What Baby was on.
Right. Yes. But the voice was very, very different to what we hear with Miss Afton and William at the start.
And the unknown dude, because there's the other guy talking to William, which could potentially be Henry, for all we know.
Yeah. No, but he was saying,
yeah.
I don't think he would have...
It's probably like a news reporter or something.
He wouldn't have referred to him as Mr. Afton. He would have referred to him as William.
Yeah, because he says Mr. Afton, and he's inquiring about the features of the
He would have known. He would have known if he was still alive at this point. He could have... he was probably dead at this point, you know. His baby was killed. I think his name was Sammy, the child, actually. I think somewhere... I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure... Matt had said at one point that his name was Sammy. I think he's gotten that from the book or something.
We really need to read The Silver Eyes because we haven't read it.
If we could get a hand on it, because But I'm pretty sure that in the book or something like that. Matt Pat got it from somewhere that his name was Sammy, so we'll just refer to him to that.
Sam,
So yeah, he was killed.
Goodbye.
And also the daughter. Do we have a first name for?
No, because she's only ever referred to Miss Afton, Pigtail Girl, and etc. etc.
Well, they were both killed, and for we haven't seen any other children that are related to Henry. And I think that's all because in the room there was the older sibling. There was Sammy, who we in FNAF 4. We were playing as Sammy going throughout the house.
Yes, and then there's the older brother and his gang of friends. I think we should probably sort of just get to the chase in here because it's 5 o'clock now.
But we just quickly end up what we're talking about then.
Yeah.
So they do end up dying because they become the first
Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy.
FNAF 1, because we see with the one with the birthday thing where they have the masks.
Yes, the happiest day.
But the issue is how they killed. That's the thing. Who killed them? I think it's mostly theorized that it was Afton, but why would he kill his nephew as well? Because we also see the older brother turn into Foxy. Other mini games as well in FNAF 1, I think. Oh no, FNAF 2. 2 and 3 of the with the mini games. I don't know, but with the puppet giving gifts, giving life. What animatronics did the masks have?
There was Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, and for that split second at the very end, Golden Freddy appears.
Yeah, it's most likely that Sammy turns into Golden Freddy, as we see in both those mini games that we talked about. But there was that child at the end, which was probably Golden. But it's not Golden Freddy though. Because that, if Sammy was Golden Freddy, because he was killed by Fredbear.
Which many people say that Golden Freddy is basically the old rotted Fredbear suit that is haunted. Because Golden Freddy is meant to be a ghost, especially in the first game. And the second game as well, where you see him with just a head in the hallway and in his jump scare.
Yeah. Well, that child at the door, wasn't it? Do we know its gender? I don't think we do.
I think so.
We saw another image of it. It might be able to tell, but it might not be. We don't really know. I think it was just another crying child style of. That could be either one.
We need to finish up now.
Yeah.
So definitely, this will all be right.
Okay, so. But the thing is that when Afton comes out of the car, that's when we see the jump scare. Yeah, that's when we see the jump scare.
Wasn't that? I think that one had the puppet jump scare.
Was it the puppet jump scare or Golden Freddy?
No, because there's too many games that are jump scares. There was one with the puppet jump scare, and the Golden Freddy one was Give Life. I'm pretty sure it was the one where Freddy following the puppet that had the puppet jump scare. All the other ones turned to the red static. I'm pretty sure it's either the Freddy following puppet or the Give Cakes.
Either way, we've got it up on the screen now. You'll be able to see which one it is.
Yeah.
But if it is Golden Freddy, that's interesting because I don't know, maybe because we don't really see any indication of the 83, the Bite of 83. And that other child is just interesting. Anyway, that is literally all we've got time left, guys.
Part 2, 3, maybe. Part 2 of the sister location game chat.
Yeah, we need to finish this. We're not even done yet.
We've still got so much to do, and especially since we went so off topic to what we originally started off with. So we've still got so much to finish off.
But as I said, that's all we've got time for today. We might do a part.
Yeah.
We'll actually do a part 2.
We will do a part 2.
If you guys like this, please like and tell us in the comments that you're enjoying this.
Give us some extra feedback and some extra topics to talk about.
A little bit less editing throughout the whole thing. It's going to be a much longer video.
An hour.
Yeah, because it was just us theorizing. We need all the content for that. But part 2 will be coming eventually, whenever we can. If you guys enjoyed it, please like and comment that you want more of this more frequently. Other than that, we'll see you later. Bye! I want to say if you're enjoying the idea of game chat, because we'll do some theories on other things and some reviews maybe. So, bye.